here has me for strategic management? Just
No, not like that. Not
this morning?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, operations. Operations. 1, 2, 3. Anybody else got me for operations? So some of the people who have me for operations is some of the stuff would be kind of a repeat, going over things. How was your break?
Good.
Anybody go out of town? No vacation? Where you go?
Florida.
What part?
Treasure Island.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's a nice spot. You from Florida?
No, I'm from Michigan.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Florida's a, I like Florida. It's not in the summertime. It's way too, you know. Who else? Anyone go out of town? Anyone plan to go out of town for spring break?
Am I good with that or?
Yeah.
Alright, yeah.
All right, we'll start this off by going around class and just stating your name, your major. Obviously, you guys are all seniors, I take it? So no need to state what year, but just your name, major, and whether you have a job, you know, what do you do, or, whatever, you know, or not have a job. We'll start from you.
My name is Leslie Alejandro. I'm a business management major and I'm a marketing minor and I work for T-Mobile.
What do you work in sales or customer service?
My name is Caleb Gustafson. I'm a nonprofit business major, and I only work during the summers.
Just summertime.
My name's Megan. I'm a marketing major and I work at a spin studio, a cycle bar.
What kind of studio?
A spin studio.
Spin studio.
Hi, my name is Brenda. I'm a marketing major. I have 2 jobs right now. I work at McDonald's and Dunkin'.
We'll start, just come all the way to the back and then we'll come loop back around to the front.
Hi, my name is Zach Schultes. I'm a marketing major, and I work at Whole Foods.
Both of us.
My name is Corey. I am a business management major and I work at academic advising and the Office of Campus Engagement.
Nice.
I'm Grace. I'm a sports management major and I'm a volleyball coach. My name is Kiara. I'm a management major and I work with a group of financial advisors.
Awesome.
My name is Paul. I'm majoring in accounting and currently I'm not working due to school.
My name is Sergio. I'm a sports management major, and I only work during the summers.
Just,
My name is Gary, sports management major, and I'm a baseball coach.
these sports management guys, you guys all play sports? Do your own?
My name is Jackson. I'm a business management major and I work in a restaurant.
What kind of a restaurant?
It's like a bar.
What's it called?
Christopher, sports management major, and I work for my family restaurant.
Nice.
I'm Michael, majored in sports management. I coach and I do personal training.
I'm Martin. I'm a business intelligence and analytics major, and right now I work on campus in the gym and
My name is Eric, and I work at a training facility called Bo Jackson's Elite Sports.
I'm Chris, I'm a accounting major, and I work at the IT help desk on campus.
Hi, I'm Christian DeLeon. I'm a junior, like most of you, and I am a business management major. I am not working at the moment due to school, but do have experience working in the Office of Academic Advising over the summer, as well as the Virtual International Hackathon program, which some of you may have been in last year.
I'm Nick. I'm a sports management major, and I work at a Jamia restaurant.
I'm Jada. I'm a marketing major and I work in the marketing communications office. I'm Katie. I'm a accounting major and I work in
All right, so who here knows what they want to do? What would you like to do?
Well, after this, I'm going to get my master's in secondary education, and I want to be a PE teacher and high school coach. That's how I want to do. So
one point. Now I'm an employee there, and that's like my foot in the door. But eventually, I want to own my own training facility or possibly work at a college as like a facilities or equipment manager.
Okay. Somebody back here?
Financial planning.
Financial planning, so CFP, CFA, stuff like that. Okay, cool. Who else?
I know you heard this morning, so
Yeah.
I'll repeat for everyone here who probably didn't have this class this morning. So eventually, I do want to start my own company down the road within the professional wrestling industry.
Awesome. Yeah, we talked about how that's a niche market, but definitely unique. Very unique. Anybody else? Anybody else? No one else know what they want to do? It's kind of floating around.
I mean, I know I wanna work in like nonprofits.
So you know you just want to work for nonprofits because maybe you see it as they're doing good work
Yeah.
in some capacity. I agree, profit driven, shareholder. That's good. Like I told my class earlier, I have some students in here from operations management. You know, when I was junior, senior in business school, I majored in marketing management. I kind of didn't know what I really wanted to do. I knew I wanted to work in marketing, whatever that meant, right? But around senior year, I got an internship at the Blackstone Group. And you know, Blackstone Group is a very huge, huge company. Do a lot of financial things, marketing, all these different things. And ended up getting a really cool job downtown, Michigan Avenue, office, view, yada, yada, yada. And did that for a while, so I learned a lot, right? So I learned a lot about researching for businesses, finance, accounting, management, all these different things. And then I get tired of that because I didn't like being managed by people, right? So first it started off like, hey, I want some good money, so I get a good car, plays, I have this cool job in the office. And maybe about 2 years in, I was like, all right, I had enough of that, right? So it goes to show you not all things last, right? How you feel about things you really, really want and need now, it'll change over time, regardless of how shiny and cool it seems or look or cool to talk about to other people. From that point on, I started my own business, but in that time I started an MBA program, right? So I actually graduated from Dominican and started teaching at Dominican too. While I was in the MBA program, I told my students earlier, I never bought a book. This was before like, you know, a lot of the technology was really there to get things, but I was able to get the books online and sell them to all the students. I think I made about $20,000 over the course of my MBA. Why did I do that? Because you're business people. You're here to do business, right? And for me, I guess I was kind of a shark that I was like, well, this only makes sense, right? Some of the professors shunned me for it, right? Some of them applauded me for it. But the point was, is do you have a business mindset while you're majoring in this stuff, right? Yeah, this all sounds great. It's like, hey, I majored in business. Wow, you're gonna make a lot of money, right? You're gonna do this and that. But you truly do have to have a business mindset in order to succeed. If not, then you find that you probably want to do something else, right? It's not for everybody. And sometimes the jobs are not as glorious as you think. Sometimes they're very tedious and very boring. So you truly have to either talk to people who are working in your future fields, do an internship, that way you don't have to fully commit, right? You have an opportunity to probably be brought on full time, but you get the opportunity to also observe and engage and look around, okay? What does this all mean? So during the MBA, I started my company, which dealt with private equity. I asked the students earlier if there's anyone know what private equity is. Anybody? So basically, private equity is starting funds for a project or a goal and getting investors to go in on it, right? So essentially you could create a fund out of anything. You could say, hey, I wanna buy this building. It costs $150 million, and you're like, I don't wanna go to the bank, where do I get the money? Well, you can divvy up this building into shares, apportion out the building, and say, here's the expected returns to what we'll get from rent, from anything. People will invest, right? There's a lot of high net worth individuals out there that are looking to put their money in different places. Not just individuals, but corporations too. So I got into private equity because a lot of people didn't know about it, right? And I was interested in like hedge funds, mutual funds. That's the stuff I was interested in. I was like, man, a lot of people don't ever talk about private equity. But it's huge, huge. If you go and look up some of these large companies, in fact, who actually owns that company? Like, literally, you go Wikipedia, like, you'll see all these private equity companies own AMC theaters, right? Toy stores, all these large businesses, which means that they have a lot of control over what happens. And there's a lot of wealthy, powerful people who even got political connections involved in this stuff. So that's why I started private equity, and I started doing it for real estate. So basically I would see a building, I would say, wow, 20, 30 unit building. I don't want to spend my money. I don't want to go to the bank. How do I get the building? I already know what the rents are made on this building, right? Because you have offering memorandum typically with these large buildings, they'll show. You got these people in here, you got these businesses, these tenants, this is what it makes every month, this is what it makes after everything is paid. Taxes, maintenance. So I started doing that and getting connections. I actually had connections from the Blackstone group because I used to have a hot sheet, I was telling the students earlier, and basically it was calling to get to the secretaries or gatekeepers to some of the big people behind the Fortune 500 companies. So I would talk like Bill Gates' secretary, Steve Jobs' secretary, all these different people. Walgreens, the Waltons at Walmart, all these people. So I had some connections at that point. So that's how I got my start in the world of business. So I didn't want to work for nobody, right? And kind of just went from there. From there, I went and got my PhD. I was like, oh, I didn't want it in business. I want a PhD in business because I think MBA is enough. MBA, you can be a CEO. There's nothing, for me, there was nothing needed past that for business. So my PhD is in psychology, international psychology, which basically, keep it simple, is just like doing work for the United Nations, looking at mental health effects around the world for different cultures, people, groups, and how to help them. Right? Ties into business a lot. Why? Because I was doing business overseas too. I was buying buildings overseas. And so I had to learn about culture, what's important to these people, how do you create a demand, right? You go different places, certain colors are looked down upon, certain colors are like, we love that color here, right? And we can see that here in marketing. You look at certain colors on bottles, on labels, you're like, why do you make that color? It's what's important to the culture, right? It's what you reference. So psychology makes the most sense for me past business because it deals with human behavior. Why do you think the way you think? Why do you behave the way you behave? Why do you wear that sweatshirt? Why did you pick that? Why do you want to buy that? Why did you buy that water bottle? What's it cost? What's it cost? Like all these different things. So make the most sense. So it's pretty much my background in the gist. Let's get to it. Well, it just kind of showed my psychology background, and then I was making money, did all type of cool stuff, travel around the world, a lot of people, bought, wasted money, trying to buy things because I always wanted, right? We were extremely poor, right? Went to 13 elementary schools. Moved a lot, right? So I had an interesting kind of upbringing. Big family, right? My mom's black, my dad's Italian. We got a Korean brother, a Polish brother. Like it's all over the place, right? So I was kind of made for this stuff. I was kind of made to be most immersed in cultures, understand people, try not to be so biased, right? Impose my biases onto other human beings. Try to understand just why people feel what they feel. So I landed me back, and then I started a foundation because I was like, wow, I want to do good stuff around the world. Made the money, now give it back. So I started a foundation, and the focus is on poverty, education, mental health, human rights, and cultural exchange. When I was doing research in South Africa, and I love that place. If anyone has ever been to South Africa? One of the greatest countries on earth. It's like imagine just California of Africa. That's really high. But very poor place in a lot of areas, a lot of racial divisions and strife with apartheid. But I was intrigued by it, and I started my foundation there and started giving money to the people there to build education programs, mental health programs, counsel the people, work with the governments for human rights changes, all these different things. Why? Because as you make money, you don't have money, you want to make it. After you make it, you realize it's not what all you was cracked up with. The more stuff you have, the more worry you have, right? So at that point, my mind kind of changed into like more helping people. Like, how can I be the greatest helper instead of the greatest business guy? And these are still some of the organizations, and these are investment groups: Commonwealth, Blackbridge, and Zach Rossberg. This class. So okay. Enough of that. What is this class about? What do we think this class is about? You've been through 4 years at Concordia, business courses, marketing, management, accounting, entrepreneurship, all of that stuff. Right? This is one of your capstone courses. What do we think this class is about? No, there are no stupid answers. There's just answers.
Be like a summary of cultural business.
I think that's a good way of putting it. It's a summary of using everything you learn to analyze a business. And let me say, it's not about, hey, I can run a successful business. Like, we're gonna learn what it probably takes. In reality, no, it's all a gamble, right? So I was talking to some of the people in my previous class, understanding when you drive past all these businesses and your envy that people have them, don't be. A lot of them don't make any profit. And they're forever, they still are in the red. They exist, they survive, right? But, so it's very difficult to make a successful, let me just say, beyond successful, and profitable. Yes. Even when you look up, go on Wikipedia and look up all these Fortune 500, right? You can look up revenue, blah, 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 and then you see net income. Net income is after you paid everything, right? You pay the taxes, pay the employees. What do you got left? A lot of them are in the red, right? So a lot, major, like, oh, they lost $3 billion last quarter. And then the CEO comes out and gives a speech like, oh, we're gonna change, we're gonna improve this, and that. That's kind of what this course is about, right? Like looking at things, at a business from end to end, in this industry that you're in, market that you're in, products that you have, service that you provide, and say, we have to keep adapting, we have to keep improving. What could we change, right? What could we taper? What could we get rid of? This is what the class is really about, right? And once again, it's not for the sake of, being realistic of saying, oh, I could run a successful company. Like, no, you can run a company. That's it. Right? Successful that's so subjective. You know what I mean? Because business is hard. It's even harder to start your own business. Although it sounds great, it is a lot of work. So if you do decide to start your own business, trust me, if you think you can do it all by yourself, the business failed. point is to get people smarter than you, better than you, people who got more energy than you, more motivated than you. That's successful business, right? One of the guys I knew, he ran a private equity company, but his is like off the charts. And you know, he was talking about people that he hires, and he doesn't hire geniuses. He's like, I don't want geniuses working here. Right? He said he wants people just hardworking. Geniuses are too complicated. You don't want nobody to think too much. The point in this course is to think logical, rational, look at what's out there, look at what the data provides, and make a decision. Ultimately, you gotta make a decision. Interesting about business and psychology, most CEOs, I'd probably say 75% are sociopaths, right? But you kind of need to. Most politicians are sociopaths. Because how can you fire 30,000 people and now they can't pay their mortgage, and their kids can't go to school, and they can't eat, and they get on welfare, just like that, live just like that. So it's not an easy, normal, average person can't deal with the responsibility or the outcomes of that. So keep that in mind too. I'm not saying sociopathy is bad, but it's good, if to a degree, you know. Okay. So I'll just run through a few things since it's first class, and then maybe with 15 minutes left, we'll go through the syllabus, so you kind of know what to expect, right? You know, the presentations and all these different things. And maybe as time goes on, things may change. I may change things on the syllabus, depending on what our time looks like. All right, some of the things we're going to talk about here is define business, discuss the role of business in the economy, explain the evolution of modern business, discuss the role of nonprofit organizations, right? My foundation is a nonprofit. And you know, talking about these major corporations that we're going to get to, they all kind of have a nonprofit arm, right? We talk about how it's called corporate social responsibility. Right? So that provides value to their customers. Not only do you buy Coca-Cola because it tastes great, right? It's all over the world. Guess what? Coca-Cola is, quote unquote, saving the planet too, right? According to Coca-Cola's foundation. Now, whether it's for actual good, that's a whole nother thing, right? But whether it is part of the cost of doing business, it's a whole nother thing too. Coca-Cola may say like, hey, we've made a lot of extra for-profit money because people, the perception is that we do great stuff too, right? We're not all about profit. So it all kind of goes hand in hand. Anybody know what's kind of the difference between nonprofits and for-profits? What kind of separate them? The two? Kind of like according to the government or what they actually are as entities. Like what's something you won't see on the Dow Jones, New York Stock Index? Right, you won't see any nonprofits. Why? You can't have shares like that. You can't have shareholders, right? You can't have a stock. Right? It provides a conflict of interest, like an ethical thing. You know, but then becomes profit driven as opposed to driven by mission or cause. Right? In which case, since it's seen as an ethical, moral good thing, you might get tax write-offs. You might not pay any taxes. You might not pay any real estate tax. You might not pay any sales tax. You might not pay any tax. Right? You're like a 501(c)(3). So, but on the flip side, nonprofits are very